What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another live show. Let's see how long I will do this live because, as you can see from the title, yeah, it's clear what we're gonna talk about. The Kostić news, but in general, just the situation on the transfer window. And the idea of the club maybe and the lack of ideas, the worrying signs, the worrying news coming out of the club when it comes to keeping certain players and how we want to improve the team or not improve the team. I think you need to look at it in both ways, because this is not just about improving a team by making signings. This is also about moving out certain players, meaning um that you can also improve. You can improve in two ways this window: by signing players and by selling players so they don't set foot for this club on that pitch ever again. So they cannot do damage to the club. So you can look at it both ways. Either way, the way you're looking at it, signings or selling players, it's looking dire at this moment in time, and the Kostić one is probably topping it off. Before we get into it, as always, subscribe to the channel, etc. But the Kostić one, so the news is very clear. The news is that he is working hard in training. He hopes to get, let that sink in, a new contract. Tudor rates him because of his work rate, his work ethic, his commitment to the club, and he thinks he can do a job throughout the season. Now, there are clubs interested, and if an offer comes in, the club will consider it. But if an offer comes in of 5 million euros and Tudor likes him, we are very likely going to keep Kostić instead of taking those 5 million euros. And I think he's out of contract next season. So we will end up getting a new deal if he actually stays, being that one season or whatever. And for me, that's absolute madness. I already see people saying as a backup, he isn't that bad. He is. He is. Let's be real. He adds nothing to the club. How many times are we gonna do this with players we already clearly did not rate, moved out of the club, like Rugani? We did that with the Chile, and when they can't come back, we all act like actually they're not that bad. They're bad. They're bad. That's why we loaned them out or sold them to Nice and Fenerbahce and Cagliari, whatever. There's a reason why we move out players. Like, these are not youngsters we're selling out on loan, sending out on loan, excuse me, or selling with a buyback option, and they did well at the current club. They age 2 years, have a lot of experience. You bring them back. No, these are plus 31-year-old players who have been poor at the club, poor on loan, and now we need to act like actually it's not that bad. It's bad. Like, let's not do this. It's bad. And it's not a dig at you, by the way. When people say he can do a job, what's the job? Like, somebody tell me the job. It's like me going to work as I don't know, as a doctor. I have no idea what I can do, but I will say I can do a job, and the job can be just set a signature under the prescription somebody else wrote. That's also doing a job. But am I doing a good job? No. Like, I'm just putting a signature on the piece of paper. I have no clue what I'm doing. That's also doing a job. Like, I don't understand. I'm watching PSG. I think we all watch PSG or still watching PSG. When people say Kostić can do a job, what kind of job are we talking about? Like, I don't know, somebody, like, what is the job? Just playing minutes as a backup? A million players can do that. A random youngster from the next gen can do what Kostić does because he offers nothing. Like, absolutely nothing. You get 4 million, you get 5 million, you move out these players. I had a conversation with Julian. I probably will be back next week on the channel. And he said, Weah, should be leaving, but he's not the first on the list. I agree. I agree with that. That certain players need to move before Weah. But all of these players need to leave. And the moment you get an offer in for any of these players and it's decent enough, you take it. He needs to move out before him goes out of the window when it comes to players who just shouldn't be at the club. Yeah, there is still an order, but we do not set the order. We do not rate these players, nor do other teams rate these players. We cannot be picky and say, you know what, we're not going to move out Weah because we first want to move out, I don't know, Rugani. So if no offer comes in for Rugani, you keep Rugani and Timothy Weah. It doesn't work like that. The moment you have an offer for a player that's not good enough, you thank them for the job done, and you're like, goodbye. It's done. And we worry about the next one in line in due time. Will an offer come in, etc.? Then we will think about it and we will go over it again. But you cannot just refuse offers because you're like, we have somebody else who's worse than this guy. Maybe slightly worse, but still worse. That's not how it should be working, you know? Um, Let me read out a few questions. Let me scroll back. Um, Kostić came to Juve as a star. That's a stretch. I like Kostic, but that's not a star. He destroyed in this club environment. I think maybe he needs some trust. Let's see. Even if you buy him, who much will have? No, he shouldn't be keeping, and he wasn't a star when he came in. He was a decent player, but that's not a star. Like, I mean, I have a different definition for star, and that's definitely not uh Kostic. Definitely not. um Let me see. They're coming people. They say we're capable of. They're conning people if they say we're capable of winning the title with this rubbish. The title, yeah, I agree. Like, um, I'm worried for this class. We're becoming Parma, Lazio, at best a Serie B club, at worst. It's not fake news. It's real reports. This is actually a real report. Like, it's not made up. It's from Mirko Di Natale. It's like it's Nico Shira. Like, it's out there. Like, it's not made up. Maybe they made it up, but they're good sources. So I would say it's not made up. I will keep him till Cabal returns, but better sell him to get them some money. New players, by the way. What is your opinion on Stiller? Why don't we go for him? Well, we don't have the money, and he probably wants to go to Real Madrid. So that's that. How do you feel the class links? Actually, decent player, but too old. Yeah, I'm not commenting on those links because that's one of the. Tomorrow there will be a new name out there, so it means absolutely nothing at this moment in time. And also, he's not a player on one at the club as well. He's a good passer, not a good crosser anymore. Doesn't dribble, doesn't score, just run, and that's not enough. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not enough. You just described one of the million players out there. It's just, yeah, he collects a paycheck, and that's about it. And maybe he will have a good day, a good game, because everyone, like every single player, has a good game from time to time. Like, whatever. But you cannot trust Kostić to offer anything from the bench to start a game. If you're placing hope on Kostić, or you have trust in Kostić, then you're just lying. You're lying, or you just are being very honest, and you're telling the fans, this is it, this is the level, this is the situation at the club, and we are going to need to keep players like Kostić, and going to need to act like this is a very good player. You know, I mean, Fenerbahce do not want to sign Kostić for a very low fee. I mean, how many signs do you still need? And forget about Fenerbahce. Actually, we've seen it with our own eyes before we move them out. We've seen it at the Club World Cup. That's just bad. That's just bad. Um, Kostic makes no sense. He offers crosses at times where we play vertical with Igor. Even if we play with crosses, it still makes no sense because the last 2 seasons his crosses have been, well, non-existent, basically. Question is, why do we keep signing these average players? Arguing that it's for depth, we're better off just signing one good player. I agree. I'd rather have a random next-gen player as depth than keeping these players around. Kostic is useless, which is why we can't move him along. No, Fenerbahce want him, but they want a little discount. Bologna want it. Like, we can sell Kostic. It's just the club is like, yeah, maybe we should keep Kostic. And for me, that's just madness, like absolute madness. Let me see. Tudor is their mouthpiece at this point. He's just saying what they're telling him to say. Tudor doesn't have the personality to speak out. This is the biggest club. This is the biggest club he will ever coach. Maybe, but like these are not Tudor's words. These are like actually leaks. Um, it's madness. I agree, it's madness. But we say it's madness, and we all agree like it's madness. But when you just sit back, like let's be real for a second as well. We just sit back. Let's say we do extend Kostić for one more season. Who of you in the chat will be absolutely stunned by that decision? Like, who of you will look at that news if that came out, Kostić 1 year extension, and be like, what? Like, when that news comes out, I will probably be like, yeah, sounds about right. Sounds what this club loves to do. Make the most random bad decision and act like they have done some fantastic piece of business. It's like when you hear news come out like saying doing a job, it means two things: we don't have the funds to get these players out, or, and that's the worst part, they actually believe it, and that makes it even worse. That makes it even worse if they actually believe a player like Kostić, and it's not just Kostić, other players as well, just came back from loan or not good enough, can do a job. Because we have better players, quote unquote, who failed to do a job. So what do you expect from a player who already has proven he cannot do a job to do a job? Like, what are we actually doing? What are we actually doing? Um, I won't be shocked for a joke for even entertaining this. Stunt, no, but the random mad decisions are killing this club. Um, yeah, I mean, the the decisions we've made, like if you, maybe I should do a video on that. The certain decisions we've made ever since we moved out from Saudi, because it started a bit with Saudi, but the moment you sack Saudi, it completely collapsed. It went downhill straight from that point. I probably need to make a video of every single bad decision we've made, and not a decision, let's say signing Vlahovic for 70 million. It looks bad right now, but at the time, I don't think many people were saying it's that bad, but real clear bad decisions at the time where it's like signing Kelly, for example. Like that's one of the um, those decisions, excuse me. Um, every single time we make a bad decision the last couple of seasons, I was like, man, they clearly learned from this. They're not going to do it again. And then every single time they come out and they're like, no, we're going to do it again. And we're probably going to do it worse. And we're going to do it again and again and again. And the worrying part is, that's the worrying part. We had different people in charge in the entire time, during that entire time. We had Jundali, we had Paratici, we had Cherubini for a while. Like, we had different coaches. We had so many different people in charge, and the result is the same when it came to making bad decisions. That's the worrying part. It's like when we sell players and we're poor at it. And at the beginning, I was like, maybe it's Paratici, he cannot sell. But it's Juntoli, it's Paratici. It looks like it's Komoli as well. So the club is probably the issue. And the one constant right now is at the top, management wise. Even again, today, I was out for a run, and I was thinking about, man, the people in charge. Like, because we changed players, we changed coaches, we changed sporting directors, different directors, management, whatever. But the result is the same. So at what point are we just, and it's impossible because he owns the club, but at one point it needs to come from himself. At what point is Alcon going to say, maybe, just about maybe, I shouldn't be involved at all. I shouldn't be involved in this at all. Because he has been involved, and it's bad. Like, it's really bad. Somebody watches his channel, is a Man U fan. Shout out to you. He put a comment under one of my videos, and he was comparing it with Man U, the way like timeline wise, how Man U got to this point, finishing what did they finish? 17, 15 in the league. And it's scary how many things are so similar when it comes to management wise, certain deals, overpaying, coaching decisions. It's so similar that you just sit back and like, surely that cannot happen, but it can happen. Like we're on pace right now to be very bad for I don't know how many years to come. When you look at the other teams, Roma are building a better squad, better starting 11 suited to the coach. When you look at it, you might not rate Wesley or Rios. Actually, I think you will rate Rios, but like you might not rate certain players to sign, but they suit Gasperini as a coach. They look better already. They look better. That's crazy because Gasperini just came in and we had years to do this and we look worse. For me, that's extremely scary and worrying, but I think that that goes without saying. People keep hitting the like button because we only have 15 likes. That's not good enough. So uh, hit the like button. Let me see. Let me bring up a couple of comments. Where were yep. They came into every mercato making it sound groundbreaking to then be average one with loaning out players. Yeah, again, even the loan players, I see we're going for loans again. I thought when Komoli came in, we stopped doing the expensive loan deals. That's weird. We have to learn from our mistakes. It's extending of contract of rubbish players. Arthur is a prime example. That's super frustrating, but I think that's our current reality. It is like it is frustrating, but that's the reality. Remember, um, 2 years from like because a lot of people have been on the channel for years. Remember 2 years? Was it 2 years ago? When were we on that winning streak with Allegri? We won 10 or 11 games. When was that? Was that was it his last season? No, it was a season before that, right? We were on that winning streak with Allegri. It was a season before that. I remember we won like 10 or 11 games. And I was on a show with Julian. I think it was a live show. And I will never forget that video because when we did that video, and I can see the analytics because I get, you get a recap, every single week, from the channel. And I can see what happens. And on that video, me and Julian spoke about this is a smokescreen. It's not sustainable. The club is still in a mess. This is not going to last. We're gonna collapse, etc. And on that video, the comments were going wild. It was all about opinions. You guys are negative. Just back to the. And we were hyping. The video was out there. We were backing. We were like, let's believe this is good. But at one point, it's gonna break down because it's just not sustainable what we're gonna do. I remember that video. I will never forget that because about 30 people unsubscribe. Not, it's about opinions, whatever. And today, like literally today, a couple of those people were back in the comments saying, actually, you weren't negative 2 years ago. You were just setting a certain standard. I want to come on every single week and be extremely cocky because we're dominating the league, and be delusional and be like, we're going to win the Champions League because we have a good team. Even if we're not going to win the Champions League, at least we have a team who can aim for it, so you back your team, whatever. We're 2 years, somebody said, so 2-3 years away from this. And what has changed? Like nothing really has changed since that moment we were on that winning streak with Allegri and it all collapsed. Like absolutely nothing changed. It might have gone worse. It might have gone worse because we changed management twice in those 2 to 3 years. Like which successful club changes management twice? Excuse me. Changes the management twice in the space of 2-3 years. Which good, which good club does that? Which club who wins does that? Like absolutely no club at all. We are doing it, and at the meantime, some are telling you you need to be positive or you just need to back the team. But when evidence is out there that it's impossible, Yul is not leaving. He's not leaving. Excuse me. Yeah, what I was saying, back the impossible because You can come out here and back whatever you want to see, but like, what are you backing? Are you backing a fourth place team? You can back that. If the club comes out and like, this team is built to get top four, to compete for top four, yeah, I can back that opinion. I can back that statement, but I cannot back the fact that the club is aiming for top four, if that makes sense, or are buying certain players like we're buying right now, or not buying, whatever you want to call it, or not selling. Even worse, not selling and keeping certain players at the club, like a Kostic, maybe like a Rugani, you might say, giving new deals to McKennie, spending a shitload of money on players like Gonzalez and things like that, like buying Kelly, believing that Kelly will, like, that's actually worse. I don't know what is worse, people. Let me know in the chat. Buying Kelly, or actually believing Kelly is good enough to do a job next season. I think the last one is worse because you can make stupid purchases. It was obvious that it was a stupid purchase buy, but still, it happens in football. But when you see it's bad and you come out and you're like, actually, you can do a job. It's not that bad. When it's clearly that bad, that's worse than actually buying the player in the first place, in my opinion. Because just admit you made a mistake and get on with it. What scares me is the finances. Wait, let me put the link in the comments if anyone wants to call in. That's not okay. You can call in. When new people come in at the level, I think they're executive level, I think they're finding shocking financial issues. Maybe that could be the case as well. But if you need to believe the reports, it's not really that bad. And the only thing we can go off are reports. But maybe you're right. Maybe it is that bad. Yeah. Does the club not believe in Tudor, or is it strictly a matter of selling players first? I don't think it's about. But I don't think Tudor is the first choice, but I think it's more the last part. And with selling, I'm not even talking about money. I'm talking about players on the books. I think that is more the issue than the money. Tudor said at the end of the year that he wants older players. The team is too young. PSG just won a Champions League with 25 average A's. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, that was a weird statement, but I am okay with bringing some experience in this team because I don't think the coach is good enough to install that in the team we have, if that makes any sense. So I agree with to a degree, but what he was saying was going overboard. Obviously, he was talking about 3-4 players. Romano said there's no bid for Sancho. I actually do not want to talk about Sancho in this video because the media is clearly lying. From deal with menu to no deal with menu, from deal, like, they change it every single day, and it's. I don't want to do that in this life. Believing in Cali, delusional, buying Cali, and oh yeah, that's worse. That's actually worse. Yeah, the Pogba. Remember when we got Pogba back? I was on that live saying, "Do not bring old things back. What is in the past should stay in the past," in my opinion. When I heard this information earlier, I laughed. Actually, I almost cried. I almost shed a tear. The same Tudor that said Vlahovic was the best player in the league. This shows how brainy he is. Yeah, I know you do not like Tudor at all. I believe Fakundo Gonzalez more. I believe in Fakundo Gonzalez more than Kelly. Yeah, Fakundo Gonzalez is not good at all. Like, he's not good. I saw a tweet. Was it from, what's his name? That journalist, Gianmarco Contieri. I don't know. I think it was him saying that Facundo Gonzalez is ready for a new chapter in his career at Genoa after a good experience at Feyenoord. It wasn't good. He played 5 games. He was injured, and when he played, he was bad. Like, I watched it. It was bad. So yeah, he's a player you actually need to sell. There are free agents like Lindelof and Bernardeschi that we can get for free and improve the team. Sam, they're not improving the team. Lindelof is bad. Like, he's really bad. Like, I cannot defend. He actually cannot defend. Uh, okay. Bernardeschi, wild take. Yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ. That will top it all off. Being linked with Bernardeschi. I think he's signed for Bologna. I was going to sign for Bologna, but that would top it off. That and being linked with Berardi, that would be, the the chef, the chef kiss on a horrible meal. I'm sweet and I can confirm that Lindelof is other trash. Yeah, he's not good, man. Every time I watch him play at Manu, I'm like, how is he in that back line? Like at that point, when you play Lindelof, you just play nobody or just play a random midfielder in there because he cannot read the game. Like his positional awareness is wow. It's really bad. Kelly good enough for Juve, but not for Bournemouth. Yeah, apparently, or Newcastle. Even when uh, the Dutch defender at Newcastle was injured. What is his name again? Um, what's the Dutch defender's name at Newcastle? I forgot his name. Botman, Sven Botman. Yeah, even when he was injured, Kelly was not playing. And he was injured for a very long time. I think he's still injured, Botman. Maybe he just came back, but even then, he was not playing. So that's all you need to know. And we were like, you know what? And that's what I said earlier on. Yeah, 20 million. And the worst part is you've seen him for what is it now? 4 months, and you're like, that's good enough. It's not good enough. Everyone can see. Like it's so bad that even Romeo Gresti, who is very neutral, doesn't rate him one bit. Like it's bad when a guy who keeps it clean and gives his opinion, but like keeps it very like tries to keep it balanced, doesn't like him. It's bad. Like you actually know it's bad. Even when Tuto Sport comes out and kills him, it's bad because that's just the propaganda machine to the sport at this point of the club. And even they are like, yeah, we're not touching that. We're not going to back that. And I mean, yeah, he's not good. Like Kelly is not good. Okay, that was the Kostić chat. Other than that, nothing happened. Again, today, it's the 10th of July in a couple of minutes. Couple of minutes and 45 minutes. Yeah, it's the 10th of July, so we're in the second week of the summer transfer window, and we are moving extremely slow. Like that's the reality. Yeah, it's a month and a half, but preseason kicks off. We play Dortmund in a month from now, the 9th of August or the 10th of August. We play against Dortmund, and we have done nothing. Like there's no improvement. There's absolutely nothing. So I'm getting worried, especially for that back line. I'm getting really worried. Um, Hello, can you hear me?
Oh,
Your name is Chevy, right?
yes, well, I call me RJ.
Oh,
I go by Chevy. It's fine.
okay, I'll keep it at that then. Do you want to talk about Kostic, or do you want to give your take on the Kostic news?
Yes, most likely on the what I talked about comedy. I mean, man, it's like he just following what Jundali left on the notes. Like he's just, I mean, I don't see nothing new. I mean, and then all of these costumes, I think it's Tudor. Um, how he's, I mean, he's trying to keep these guys when we're trying to get rid of them. I mean, I don't think Tudor's gonna finish next season. I mean, you know.
I mean, you're right. Like the links, and maybe I will ask you that question because you said it feels like he just found Juntuli's list, and I do have that feeling as well. But is it really that, or is it the media just recycling the same old names? Because that will actually be good news. But my fear is that's not the case, and the club is just picking up calls Juntili made because it's very late. They came in very late, and they're just picking up what Juntili left. That's how I'm looking at it.
Well, I hope that is the case because if not, we're gonna be screwed for another season. Because it looks like We don't have a sporting director. We don't have a technical director, and Chiellini is, I guess, is buying clubs in the MLS instead of doing his work at Juve.
Yeah, that's crazy. I'm I mean, maybe it's me. Am I like the news came out today that Juve knew back in 2024 that he was going to do that. But for me, it's crazy. I'm not going to lie. When that news come out yesterday, I was like, how what's happening at this club? We have a guy who got quote unquote important role at the club, and he owns part of another club. Like for me, it's strange. That's just me. Like he can do whatever he wants, but it's strange. Like the timing of it, everything. It's so odd. Like it's really odd to me. But again, at this club, nothing surprises me anymore. Like absolutely nothing.
Exactly.
Are you worried, or am I being extremely? Am I overreacting to say, man, it's moving a bit too slow because it's the 10th of July. Are we moving too slow, or am I, a bit too harsh on the club?
I think it's going to the same way like last season. We said no, keep calm. It's too early, and then we're panic purchasing. So I mean, we should have at least the core players. I mean, we should have them, the main guys, the 2-3 signings that Tudor wanted by now, or before they go back in like what 3-4 weeks.
Yeah. Who are the main signings, or what should be the main signings? Because I mentioned it once. Like you're right. You mentioned 2-3 players, and Komoli said we needed to add a couple more pieces, and we need to teach the players who are here, how to win, which is an odd comment. But let's say 2-3 pieces. How do you read into that comments? Do they mean position-wise 3 pieces, like starters, or do you think they mean profile-wise, like we need one experienced player? We need like, what do you think? Because right now, I have no idea what they're actually mean with that statement.
Well, I was thinking they were going for like at least 2 center backs and 1 striker. That's what we need.
We're not being linked with center backs. So
That's
we're
what
linked with
it's
2 wingers. We've been linked with 2 wingers and midfielders. Like,
we keep buying wingers when we know our weak point is the back line.
do you think they like? Do you? Because we think our weak point is the back line. Do you think they see that as well? Like, do you think they are looking at that back line and like, yeah, that need massive help?
Well, the comments that I heard from Tudor saying that no, Kelly, he's a good guy, he's capable, and then I have this other guy, Kalulu, and I think he's comfortable with that line that he has, but it's not. I mean, unless he's just pretending to be okay.
I mean, I was watching PSV and Real Madrid, like Rudiger, those guys were making mistakes, and I was like, imagine we play PSG today
Oh no, it
with
will be
with that back line. I mean, wow, like that backline. Besides quality, it just adds. It lacks so much. And somebody said, because Komoli said we need to teach these players who are here how to win, and Apex saying we don't have a winning mentality. No one on the team has won much. How, like, I agree. Like, how are you going to teach players how to win when actually nobody in the team has a winning mindset? That's when we got linked to a player like Xhaka. I still think he's a good player, but like in an ideal world, you do not sign these players. But we need experience and a winning mindset desperately. And if we move out a lot of these fake experienced players, or leaders or whatever, and you add a player like Shaka, I would have less of an issue with it. But that means you need to move out about 8 players and still add more quality to it. Otherwise, you're just adding just more issues to the squad, that we already have. Yeah, he's more experienced, but if the other guys are like, you can change the mindset of 2-3 players. You cannot change the mindset of 12 players who've been here and got away with crimes for the last 2-3 years. It's impossible. Like, it's impossible, especially if they stick together. If they all remain together, it's impossible to make that happen. It's just Like how Komoli says that, but do you see next season we turn up, and Gonzalez somehow has the right way to play. Colt Miners knows how to play. The players at the back know how to win. Like, how does a club view that? Maybe you know. Maybe there's a secret that I don't know. But how is a club expecting Tudor to make that happen with these players?
No, I don't see that happening. I mean, the only one that might be Douglas Luiz, which they haven't given him a chance to play. Good miners keep giving him games time, and he keeps flopping. I don't see. And then right, we sold our starters, and then these guys that we kept, they're like bench players. So now we expect the bench players to be our starters, experienced guys to teach these new guys, and that's how we started failing as a club. I mean, you cannot have these guys that were benches and rubbish players as your experienced guys, and senators passing that Juve learning to the new guys.
Do you? I probably should have asked you that at the, the start of the call. Forget about the players. Do you believe in Tudor as a coach, as ideas, like whatever you want to call it? Do you think he can help this club to be not great again, or maybe set us up to be great again for the next one?
My idea, or yes and no. Yes,
Okay.
yes, if he gave him or they upgrade his staff, like gave him a good assistants that can read games, that can help him with substitutions, with tactics. I mean, I think he's more like a good, I say, like a speaker, give him that Juve mentality kind of stuff. But I mean, he's not good at tactics or reading games.
It's like Alex Ferguson. He changed his assistant. I don't know, like every 2-3 seasons, because he was more of a manager, and the tactical stuff. A lot of them came down to his number two, basically. Being a, I don't know, whoever it was. Was it the Scottish guy, or whoever? But who the hell is going to do that for Tudor? Like, I mean,
Exactly.
that's just not going. Actually, the the crazy part is he was that for Pirlo when he had more experience than Pirlo. Like, that's the odd part, the awkward part of the entire situation. But yeah, I mean, last question before I let you go. Um, what do you make of the latest news when it comes to, for example, Jadon Sancho, the talks back and forward, agreement, no agreement, Conceição, offering less than the clause, Colomani offering another loan. What is the plan? Do we have no money? Is the club not certain about these players, but they still want to give him a shot, but not invest too much? Like, what do you think is going on?
Well, I just hope it's smoke and somehow Comoli has a pad and is trying to send all these Romeo Agresti and Fabrizio Romano going another side while he focuses into the real targets. But it's not. I mean, it's really scary. If all that noise is true, I mean, it's kind of worries me a lot.
Yeah, I agree. Um, anyway, Chevy, thanks for calling in,
Thank you.
and yeah, stay safe. Um, yeah, I was waiting for Di Marcia to drop something. I have it on, but I mean, if there was breaking big news or something, it should have been said, before he was talking about Sportiello and things like that. So I'm not expecting anything. I can be wrong, but I'm not expecting anything really, like real, probably recycled Jadon Sancho news or anything like that. But nothing real. So probably another day kind of wasted. I have no idea what's going on. I have no idea what's going on. Actually, like I told you guys many times, I opened the newspapers. The last couple of days, Monday, I don't even read them. I just look at the headlines and I'm just scrolling over, and I'm like done. I'm not, when I see the title and it's about talks with Jaden, I'm not reading it again. Like, it's copy paste from last week. I'm not doing it again. So maybe I've missed some news today, but I'm not doing the same thing over and over again when the title is very clear. When it's about talks about Jadon Sancho continue, I don't want to hear it anymore. I just don't want to hear it. I don't have that energy to read that every single week. The situation is weird. That I do have energy for, to talk about the situation. But the deal in itself, strange. I think we don't have a management team that can negotiate. Could be. We will get top 4 though, so yeah, Alkan would say. Maybe that's the aim, top 4, and all this makes sense if you just accept that we're fighting for top 4. Not going to do it, but I mean, if that's the aim. Naturally, Tudor will be in a bottom team in Serie A. Oh, he was coaching Verona. Kept him in mid-table. So, but yeah, compared to the other coaches he's going to go against, it's going to be very difficult. It's going to be very difficult. That's the reality. We need to accept that right now, or like accept it in terms of like it's going to happen. We cannot change anything about it right now. Only, not to complain, but just say what you believe. And what I believe is that right now, it's not clear what we want to do. And the things that, quote unquote, are clear according to the media are bad, are worrying. So, yeah. People, do hit the like button because I'm going to wrap it up in a sec and there's only 27 likes. So smash the like button. If everyone does that right now, we will get 50. Very easy. No, what was this comment? When Komoli was at Toulouse, how many great deals did he negotiate? Was he buying or selling players? I've not followed Toulouse, so I cannot help you with that. I don't. I have no clue. Remember when people were ridiculing Arsenal for top 4 aspirations? We're there. That's who we are. Yeah, but the difference is Arsenal fans were accepting it. They were flexing, getting Champions League for, I don't know, was it 12, 15 consecutive seasons? The difference is we are already complaining as a fan base for top 4 after 2 seasons. So we have certain standards because we are a much bigger club than Arsenal. We're a more successful club than Arsenal. But at this pace, the club is setting the level or the aim or the standard that low that at one point fans will actually believe and accept it. It will happen naturally. We cannot be Arsenal. No, we're not. But I mean, we are what Arsenal used to be the last 20 years. They're better than us right now. They're not winning, so at the end of the day, it doesn't mean anything. But they are the better team right now, and they have more ambition than us when it comes to signings. Yes, they have more money, but I mean, still, like they had more money than us for decades, and we still made it work. So that cannot be an excuse. Why are we signing average players like Conceição and Sancho? We need affordable ceiling raisers. I cannot answer that question because that's a question I'm looking for an answer for that question for the last 3 to 4 years. So if anyone has the response to that, let me know. Because you cracked the code, I think. I will give everything to be in the current version of Arsenal. Everything, yeah, they're better, but they're not winning. So I mean, yeah, it's still better, but at the end of the day, we want to win. I want to win, So if I'm Arsenal and I finished second for the last 5 years, or finished fourth for the next 5 years, yeah, we may have better football, but we're not winning. So it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. I want to win, and right now Arsenal are just falling short every single season. Okay, people, I'm going to wrap this one up because there's absolutely nothing new to talk about. I was expecting maybe something, but there's nothing. And if you wait another 30 minutes, Nico Shira will tweet out more depressing stuff at midnight over here. So stay tuned for that. Maybe it's Kelly getting a contract extension today, or Kelly being, hailed as one of the top players at this club by Tudor, according to leaks. That's it for me. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and maybe I will be back live tomorrow. It depends. Like if there's no news, I'm not gonna waste you people time, even though you're tuning in every single day. Then we'll wait until something pops off, and yeah, that's it. Stay safe, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.